थैंक यू। ये गिर रही है भाई। चलें ठीक है। Today the topic is diagnosis and management of rheumatoid arthritis. First, I will go through a short, quick review of what is rheumatoid arthritis, and then we will basically focus on management. Management का मतलब होता है labs and treatment. So pathophysiology and definition पे हम थोड़ी सी बात करेंगे, ज़्यादा नहीं, because it is we will be focusing on management. What is rheumatoid arthritis? Rheumatoid arthritis, which is commonly known as RA, is a chronic systemic inflammatory disease whose hallmark feature is persistent symmetrical polyarthritis. Mention that the symmetrical word is very important. Whenever the polyarthritis, poly means many, arthritis means joint inflammation. When there is symmetrical polyarthritis, मतलब एक दोनों हाथों में है, दोनों पैरों में है, तो obviously we have to think of rheumatoid. If it is asymmetrical, then the other, yes, rheumatoid arthritis can be asymmetrical, but it is rare, and the diagnosis उस पे फिर हमें दूसरी diagnosis rule out करनी पड़ेगी. That affects the small, especially small joints like hands and feet. Although other joints are also involved, but again, the most common presentation is hands and feet, small joints of hands and feet. Extra articular involvement like organs like liver, heart, lung, and eyes especially are also present, and it is very significant. So sometimes rheumatoid arthritis can present with extra articular features rather than articular features also. This is the common presentation. Now this is the pathophysiology of the joint. This is the healthy joint, and look at the joint of rheumatoid arthritis. There is normal cartilage in the healthy joint, and this cartilage is eroded. The bony structures and the joint ending of the joints are eroded like this, and swelling and inflammation of the synovial membrane. Look at the healthy joint synovial membrane, which is blue in color and which is so thin, and there is small amount of fluid, normal synovial fluid in the joint. Look at this red synovial membrane, which is also thickened, and the fluid is also increased, which is inflammatory fluid, due to inflammation. The cartilage wears away. The cartilage is going away. It is wear and tear की वजह से the cartilage durability जो है ना वो lost हो जाती है, and the joint space is also reduced. Look at these joint space in the healthy joint, which is equal almost on the both sides, and in this on one side the joint space is reduced and the other side is normal. So relative incidence of joint involvement in RA, as I have told you, there mostly 90% presentation is metacarpophalangeal and interphalangeal joints of hands and metatarsophalangeal joints, 90%. But the rest, wrist can be involved, knees, ankles, shoulders, elbows, all the joints can be involved. Acromioclavicular, okay? So yes, the spine is spared in the rheumatoid arthritis. Extra articular manifestations, which are very much marked in rheumatoid arthritis. Patients with extra articular manifestations have high titer RA factor, more severe disability, and increased mortality rate. Yes, when we do RA factor titer, the patients who are having extra articular features are having high rheumatoid factor titer. It correlates with the severity of the disease. And when the disease subsides and when the disease goes in the remission, the RA factor titer goes down. More disability is present if the RA factor titer is high, and the mortality rate is also increased. In the heart, we can find out, we can have pericarditis, cardiomyopathy, and valvular incompetence. In the lungs, rheumatoid lung, we can say honeycomb appearance. On the chest X-ray, due to multiple nodules, Kaplan syndrome, which is associated with pneumoconiosis, and idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis and interstitial fibrosis. These are the varieties of presentations of the lungs in the rheumatoid arthritis. Eyes, Eyes can be scleritis, episcleritis, and most common scleritis is the most common ocular complication, and scleromalacia perforans. Nervous system, mononeuritis multiplex, which is the involvement of individual nerves, one nerve, and then it switched to the another nerve, and then the other. Compression syndromes like median neuropathy, carpal tunnel syndrome. Yes, it is very common. Carpal tunnel syndrome is very common in rheumatoid arthritis patients. Kidney amyloid deposits, hematopoietic Felty syndrome. This comes in the exams also, and this comes in the MCQs also. What is Felty syndrome? Felty syndrome is the hematological presentation of the rheumatoid arthritis, which is anemia, splenomegaly, and leukopenia. Vasculitis usually is a non-necrotizing arthritis of the small terminal arteries, skin lesions, leg ulcers, necrotizing arthritis of the viscera, digital infarction, and Raynaud's, जिसने कहते हैं ना, Raynaud's phenomena. You have heard, you have studied about Raynaud's phenomena is also because of vasculitis, and this can also occur in rheumatoid arthritis. Digital infarction and fever. Sjogren's. Yes, rheumatoid arthritis is 50% associated with Sjogren's syndrome, because these all are the vasculitis and Sjogren's and the Felty syndrome and the Raynaud's phenomena. These all are rheumatological diseases. So one disease can overlap with the other disease, and one disease can have features of the other disease also. So it can have the features and combine with the Sjogren's syndrome also, like keratoconjunctivitis sicca and xerostomia. Now, pathways involved in the inflammation and destruction of rheumatoid arthritis. These are the inflammatory pathways or inflammatory markers which are increased and which are causing inflammation of the joint. This is basically the pathophysiology. There are 5 stages in the disease progression: intracellular signaling and proliferation, then adhesion, and then inflammation, and then angiogenesis and matrix degeneration. So what I have to say, that we have to prevent the stage 1, 2, and 3. If we intervene and if we start medications in stage 1, 2, and 3, the rest of the stage, the angiogenesis and the matrix degeneration, is halted or delayed. Halted to nahi keh sakte, delayed, theek hai, because of the management or because of the treatment, so that कि हमारे पास जो है फिर वो क्या नहीं होते, joint derangements नहीं होते, and then mortality, morbidity decrease होती है, and the patient function and quality of life is improved when the joints are mobile. If अगर हम intervene करेंगे after matrix degeneration and after the joint adhesions and the erosions, then the disease is advanced, and in the advanced disease, the patient quality of life is already hampered. 5 key molecules which are involved in the inflammation, which is TNF alpha, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, MMP, and cathepsins. We cannot measure all these inflammatory markers. We don't have labs here. Yes, we can measure IL-6 in Pakistan. Okay, laboratory investigations. What are the mandatory laboratory investigations only for rheumatoid arthritis? I'm not saying about the systemic involvement. Systemic involvement, ये हमारे पास की 4 labs हैं जो कि हमें करानी ही करानी है. बाकी the rest of the labs depend upon the system. If the chest is involved, we have to do the X-rays, the CT. If the eye is involved, obviously we have to do the eye examinations. And if the heart is involved, we have to do the echo. But if you're talking only about rheumatoid arthritis, to diagnose rheumatoid arthritis and to assess the disease severity, we have to do all these things. CBC, ESR, CRP, rheumatoid factor. I prefer rheumatoid factor titer, and anti-CCP antibodies, which is more specific. Why anti-CCP antibodies? Sometimes the patients are rheumatoid factor negative, RA factor negative, rheumatoid arthritis, RA negative. कुछ ऐसे patients होते हैं जिसमें RA positive नहीं होता, but still they have the features of rheumatoid arthritis by the clinical examination and the X-rays. So if we do anti-CCP antibodies, they are more specific and they come positive. So seronegative rheumatoid arthritis can be present, and in that case, we have to go for anti-CCP antibodies. Okay, other lab abnormalities, we have to do x-rays so that we can see the joint destruction and how much joint is involved and how much the patient can be improved from the management we are going to do. So periarticular osteopenia, which is very common, uniform symmetric joint space narrowing, marginal, which I have also told you in the beginning, subchondral erosions, joint subluxations, joint destructions, collapse. Okay, ultrasound detects early soft tissue lesions, and ultrasounds and MRI can also detect if there is marked inflammatory fluid, synovitis, or marrow changes. Okay, what is the criteria? This is the latest criteria of, the ACR, European League Against Rheumatism, and criteria for diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis. There are 4 things, parameters, which we have to see: the joint involvement, the serology, the acute phase reactants, and the duration of symptoms. Joint involvement, 1 large joint, we have to give the score 0. 2 to 10 large joints, we have to give the score 1. 1 to 3 small joints, 2. 4 to 10 small joints, 3. And more than 10 joints, small joints. More than 10 joints, at least 1 small joint, we have to give score 5. So the score is high for the small joints because the disease specificity is for the small joints. Actually, the large joints are involved, but they are less common. Serology, negative for rheumatoid factors and NTCCP. Yes, there are patients who are rheumatoid factor negative, NTCC negative also, and still they are having the clinical features and the systemic features and the X-ray features of rheumatoid arthritis. So we have to give the score 0. Now, low level of rheumatoid factor or NTCCP, we have to give 2. High level of rheumatoid factor NTCCP, we have to give 3. Acute phase reactants, normal CRP, ESR 0, abnormal CRP or ESR 1. Duration of symptoms less than 6 weeks, 0, and more than 6 weeks, 1. So a total score of more than 6 indicates a diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis. Goals of management. Now, what we have to focus is goals of management. What is the goal? Focus on relieving pain, because the patient's quality of life is very much affected because of the pain, because of the disability, and because of the immobile joints. So we have to start the disease modifying drugs, but first of all, we have to relieve the pain. So we have to give strong painkillers and steroids sometimes. Preventing damage and disability. Now, to prevent damage and disability, we have to start the disease modifying drugs, which starts their actions a little late and which give the result a little late. So for the early and quick result, we have to give a patient education about the disease, physical therapy like physiotherapy, stretching, motion exercises, small, mild kind of exercises, which we have to teach the patient. Occupational therapy for splints and adaptive devices. Treatment should be started early. Yes, which I have also told you. The treatment should be started early to prevent adhesion, to prevent the immobile joint and disability, and to improve the quality of life. If we will start the treatment after many years, we will not going to have these kind of results. Okay, there's a chat box. Okay, I will give you the answers after the presentation. Okay, I will give you the answers. Okay. Yes, wait. Now, what we have to do? We have to do early aggressive treatment. Early aggressive treatment is that we have to do quick relief of the pain. We have to do quick relief of the inflammation, and we have to start the DMARDs, the disease modifying agents, and we have to improve the mobility of that patient. Okay. क्या हो गया? It's not moving. Okay. Treatment options. What are the treatment options? Okay, the treatment options of RA optimally involves a combination of non-pharmacological and pharmacological intervention. As I have told you, patient education, rest, exercise, joint protection. Okay, treat pharmacological interventions such as medications. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are the mainstay of the treatment initially, then disease modifying agents, and then TNF alpha inhibitors, and then immunosuppressants and occasional surgery. Sometimes the joint is so much involved that we have to do the joint replacement. What are the treatment options in RA? Anti-inflammatory drugs may non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory drugs and steroids. Sometimes we have to give steroids also if the patient is suffering from जिसका अब इसका क्राइटेरिया क्या है, मैं ये आपके लेवल पे तो थोड़ा ज्यादा हो जाएगा, लेकिन what are the criteria? Some people only treat with NSAIDs. Some people we have to give steroids also, because if there is marked systemic involvement, there is fever, there is marked joint disability and immobility, and the patient is not able to open the hands because of the pain, he or she is febrile, and the patient is having marked systemic disease like pericarditis, pleural effusions and all that, so we have to give steroids. Analgesics and conventional disease modifying anti-rheumatoid drugs and biological DMARDs. The disease modifying drugs are now also being divided into two, the conventional one and the biological one. Okay. What happened? Treatment. Again, the same thing. DMARDs. Okay, what kind of DMARDs? The most commonly used DMARDs in rheumatoid arthritis, methotrexate, which is very common. Leflunomide is also very common. If the patient is having, and these are the first line drugs. If the patient is having side effects from, or the patient is not tolerating, then we can start sulfasalazine. And if the patient is have mild disease, we can also give hydroxychloroquine, which is also called HCQ. The other drugs, these are the immunosuppressants. We can also use this is not immunosuppressant, chloroquine and gold, but the other like cyclosporin A and azathioprine are cyclophosphamide as immunosuppressant, and we can also use if the first line therapy is not beneficial for the patient or the patient is not tolerating. The gold was used as in the old days. It is not used nowadays, and it was causing nephrotic syndrome. When the gold is used, it causes nephrotic syndrome in the patient as a side effect. Okay. When to start DMARDs? Yes, DMARDs आप कब start करेंगे? Initially आपने NSAIDs दे दिए, if needed steroids दे दिए, then as early as possible. DMARDs are indicated in all patients with rheumatoid arthritis who continue to have active disease even after 3 months. 3 months देखें इनको, अगर 3 months में patient नहीं set हो रहा, start DMARDs. The period of 3 months is arbitrary and has been chosen since a small percentage of patient may go spontaneous remission. Why 3 months has been chosen? Because sometimes the patient can go in the spontaneous remission. The vast majority, however, need DMARDs and the many rheumatological DMARDs from day one. And they are also saying from day one we can start DMARDs. अब ये डिपेंड करता है क्लिनिशियन पे या रिमेटोलॉजिस्ट पे. जब अगर आपके पास पेशेंट आता है ऑलरेडी एक्सरे करवाया है, जॉइंट इन्वॉल्वमेंट ज्यादा है, ठीक है, एंड इरोजन्स हो गई हैं, स्पेसेस रिड्यूस हो गई हैं, तो वी डोंट हैव टू वेट 3 months. In that case, we have to start the DMARDs from day one because we don't have time. Okay, मैं इसको चैट बॉक्स में ये साथ साथ लिखती भी रहती हूँ so that I will not forget. Okay, what is the, it is anti-cyclic okay. Yes, have you got my okay, this is, I've given the answer to the question, what is the full form of anti-CCP? Okay. Now, again, back to the, now selection of DMARD. How to select a DMARD? Okay. There are no strict guidelines about the DMARDs to start in an individual. Methotrexate had rapid onset of action than the other DMARDs, so we start as a first-line therapy of methotrexate, taking in account patient tolerance, because methotrexate has many side effects. So we have to see the patient tolerance also, cost also, and the ease of once weekly oral administration. This is very important. Methotrexate is administered once weekly. So some people say that once weekly खाना आसान है, तो patient preference के हिसाब से हम DMARDs को choice करते हैं. Okay. Now, monitoring interval based on duration recommended for optimal follow-up laboratory interval, which is very important. अब हमने we have diagnosed rheumatoid arthritis. So when we have to repeat the labs, okay. If we have started chloroquine, okay. We have to we have to monitor the labs. What we have to do? We have to do CBC, complete blood count, liver transaminase, which is called LFT, and serum creatinine levels of the patient with rheumatoid arthritis receiving disease modifying drugs. ये तीन आपको जरूर करने पड़ेंगे, because the drugs we are giving in rheumatoid arthritis, they can affect the CBC, they can affect the liver, and they can affect the creatinine. So we have to monitor. For hydroxychloroquine, हमें इतनी monitoring की जरूरत नहीं होती, because it doesn't cause very much marked side effects. But for leflunomide and for methotrexate and for sulfasalazine, ठीक है, 2 to 4 weeks, starting 2 to 4 weeks, like less than 3 months के अंदर, we have to monitor these things. Okay, so if we start leflunomide, we have to do a CBC, LFT, and creatinine after 4 weeks at least. Okay, and then after 8 to 12 weeks, if we can say 12 weeks. सही है? यानी कि पहले महीने पे आपने CBC, LFT और creatinine करवाया, यानी starting से less than 3 months, फिर 6 महीने पे कराया, and then 6 महीने के बाद onwards. ठीक है, वो depend करता है patient की response पे. But at least 4 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, and 8 to 12 weeks, you have to do the labs. Okay, DMARDs alone or in combination? Yes. Can we give more than one DMARD? Yes, we can give more than one DMARD, because if the patient we started on methotrexate and or leflunomide, and the patient is not achieving the goal, is not relieving the pain, not relieving the agony of the patient, we can anchor another drug with that. And the combination of methotrexate with leflunomide is synergistic, since their mode of action is different. ठीक है, so ये जो methotrexate and leflunomide का combination है, ये अच्छा रहता है. Okay. Biological agents. These are the newer agents, rather not, we can say newer agents. इनको भी आए हुए सालों गुजर के, but they are not the conventional old agents like methotrexate and leflunomide. The biological agents, they are different from the conventional DMARDs, as they are produced in a living system like a microorganism, plant, or an animal cell by harnessing rDNA. The end product is a protein directed against a specific gene or another protein, which is highly specific for its function and target antigen. The introduction of biologicals such as erythropoietin, insulin growth hormones, and anti-cytokine therapies. What are the other biological agents we are having for the treatment? ये इन्होंने बताया कि biological agents बहुत अलग-अलग चीजों में भी इस्तेमाल होते हैं. जरूरी नहीं है कि we are using these biological agents in the rheumatoid arthritis only. They are basically genetically engineered drugs. अगर आप उसको एक simple version में देखें तो ये genetically engineered drugs हैं, जो कि they are similar to the rDNA of the individual, ठीक है, of the living organism, ठीक है, जो हमारे अंदर rDNA मौजूद है, they are similar, वो genetically engineered prepared drugs who are similar to the rDNA of the individual, either microorganism or plant or animal or a human being. So erythropoietin is a very famous drug which is used in the renal failure for the HB increment. It is also a biological agent. Insulin is sometimes, कुछ insulin जो human insulin नहीं है, जो analogs हैं, वो भी biological agents होती हैं. Growth hormones भी biological agents होते हैं, and anti-cytokine therapies are also biological agents. तो ये आपको पता होना चाहिए कि और कौन-कौन से biological agents हमारे पास मौजूद हैं. The first biological agent approved was Humulene in 1982. This is a very famous insulin, ठीक है, जो 1982 में approved हुई थी. Okay. Advantages of biological agents. Biologics have benefited the patient with rheumatological disease, inflammatory bowel disease. Which disease we use biological agents? There are many diseases, which are RA, inflammatory bowel disease, malignant conditions, dermatological conditions, connective tissue disorders, even diabetes. These disorders, by halting the disease progression, alleviate the symptoms and improve the quality of life. Okay. Anti-TNF agents. These are one of the most mashhoor zamana anti-TNF agents, which are biological agents used in the rheumatoid arthritis. Biologics, and specifically the anti-TNF biologics, can have very rapid onset of action same day. The very beneficial thing of biological agents, या anti-TNF alpha or anti-TNF, is that for DMARDs we have to wait for months. हमें इंतजार करना पड़ता है, इसीलिए एनसेट्स और स्टीरॉइड्स देने पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि उसका मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन बहुत स्लो है. ठीक है. फॉर एंटी-TNF एजेंट्स, they start acting in the same day. Anti-TNF agents and biologics in general are surprisingly well tolerated and relatively safe, and biological have a well-defined specific mechanism of action, but point is that they are a little expensive in Pakistan, at least. Okay, antigen presenting cell होता क्या है? Small pathophysiology. Antigen presenting cell, T cell activate होता है. T cell causes macrophage and B cells. ये एक normal pathology है. The biological agents जिसके नाम है, जैसे etanercept है, adalimumab है, infliximab है, यहाँ पर abatacept है, and then tocilizumab. ये डिफरेंट, ये पाथवे के डिफरेंट स्टेप्स पे इसको डीएक्टिवेट करते हैं, सो दैट द इन्फ्लेमेशन इज नॉट प्रोड्यूस. एंड रिजल्ट बायोलॉजिकल एजेंट का ये है कि मैक्रोफेज ना बने. कोई बायोलॉजिकल एजेंट टी सेल्स को रोक रहा होता है. सम बायोलॉजिकल एजेंट इज एक्टिंग ऑन मैक्रोफेज एंड बी सेल इनहिबिशन, सो दैट द इन्फ्लेमेशन इज नॉट देयर एंड द साइनोवियम इज रिस्टोर्ड. Okay, these are the names of different biological agents: abatacept, etanercept, adalimumab, infliximab, anakinra, and tocilizumab. Okay, these are available in Pakistan also. Okay, role of rituximab in RA. It is uncertain which of these mechanisms is most important in the depletion of B cells in patient RA. What we were doing, we were depleting the B cells, we were depleting the macrophages, we were depleting the T cells, so that the inflammation is not there. And if the inflammation is not there, the rheumatoid की जो progression of disease वो रुक जाएगी. Although some data such as the FC receptor mediated antibody dependent cytotoxicity and antibody dependent phagocytosis are the principal mechanism. Okay, intravenous rituximab in RA patient result in almost complete depletion of the peripheral B cells and variable depletion of B cells in the synovium and the other sites such as lymphoid tissue and bone marrow. Rheumatoid factor are reduced by the greater proportion than the serum immunoglobulin levels by rituximab treatment. The advantage of rituximab therapy is that there is no increase in TB. Okay, the other immunosuppressant they cause sometimes because of the immunosuppression, they cause TB type की diseases हो जाती हैं. Immunosuppressions, different viruses का attack हो रहा होता है because you are taking an immunosuppressant. TB हो जाती है because you are taking an immunosuppressant. Why TB? Because if you have latent TB किसी को रह चुकी हो तो वो activate हो जाती है. So, or we can have the new infection also because the patient is immunosuppressed. So for rituximab, the patient is not immunosuppressed, and it is the advantage that there is no increase of risk of TB. Okay, dosage and administration. Rituximab has been approved by the US Food and Drug and FDA approved drug है, ठीक है, and the European Medicine Agency in Europe for the treatment of RA in patients with incomplete response or intolerance to the tumor necrosis factor. Okay, अब TNF alpha हमने उसको rituximab कब लगती है? ठीक है, when the DMARDs हमने दिए वो इतने effective नहीं है. TNF inhibitors दिए वो effective नहीं है. Now we can switch to rituximab. Administer rituximab as 2,000 milligram intravenous doses separated by 2 weeks. Okay. Biologics in rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. अब आप देखें ये सारे बायोलॉजिक एजेंट्स हैं। इन्फ्लिक्सिमैब टीएनएफ अल्फा पे एक्ट कर रहे हैं, इटनसेप्ट टीएनएफ अल्फा बीटा पे, एंड देन दी अदर। ठीक है, अब रिटुक्सिमैब इज आल्सो एक्टिंग ऑन बी सेल्स। आपको याद है मैंने आपको ये पाथवे दिखाई थी, दिस इज द pathway of the inflammation in the synovium, and these drugs are acting on different steps. Okay, so these are the drugs, all the drugs, most of them are available in Pakistan, fewer of them are not available in Pakistan, and these are the drugs which act on different levels of the pathway, and मशहूर ज़माना इसमें एटनरसेप्ट है, इन्फ्लिक्सिमैब है, एडालीमोमैब है, एंड रिटुक्सिमैब है, एनाकिंड्रा एंड टॉक्सिलिजुमैब है। ठीक है, गोलीलुमैब एंड सिट्रोलिजुमैब इज नॉट आई थिंक अवेलेबल इन पाकिस्तान। ओके, now from here I stop because the presentation is finished, and if any question to ask. Okay, I think finish the class because what is the role of CCP in RA? Okay, basically it is an inflammatory marker. ठीक है, व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ सीसीपी? आरए इज आल्सो एन इन्फ्लेमेटरी, इट इज इन्फ्लेमेटरी मार्कर्स है ना सारे, आरए फैक्टर है, एंटी सीसीपी, इसका रोल नहीं है, कोई रोल नहीं कहेंगे, आपने सवाल थोड़ा सा गलत वो किया है। ये सारे लैब वर्कअप हैं जो कि हम रूमेटॉइड आर्थराइटिस में देखते हैं। किसी में आरए पॉजिटिव आता है, किसी में आरए नहीं आता। जब आरए पॉजिटिव नहीं आता तो एंटी सीसीपी कराते हैं। समटाइम्स द पेशेंट आरए नेगेटिव बट एंटी सीसीपी पॉजिटिव, बिकॉज एंटी सीसीपी इज मोर स्पेसिफिक, डिजीज स्पेसिफिक एजेंट। सही है, तो कुछ हमें डायग्नोसिस के लिए चाहिए होती है। तो पहले एंटीसीसीपी नहीं होता था, बट व्हेन फ्यू पेशेंट्स वर ट्रीटेड ओनली क्लिनिकली, कि आरए नेगेटिव आया बट डॉक्टर को लग रहा है फीचर्स हैं आरए के, तो वो आरए को ट्रीट करेगा। बट अब देयर न्यूअर टेस्ट एंड देयर न्यूअर एजेंट्स थ्रू विच वी कैन डायग्नोज आरए, विच इन विच एंटीसीसीपी इज ऑल्सो। Can RA positive in pregnancy affected fetus? No, RA positive pregnancy cannot affect fetus, but the RA positive mother ko certain drugs cannot be given for rheumatoid arthritis. So in pregnancy, you can see there are a list of drugs which can be given, which we cannot give. So in pregnancy, there are few drugs which we have to give, like HCQ is, we can give HCQ, hydroxychloroquine in pregnancy, और इस तरह से स्टीरॉइड्स भी दे सकते हैं प्रेगनेंसी में। तो हमें स्विच करना पड़ता है फिर पेशेंट को, अगर पेशेंट प्रेग्नेंट हो गई तो वी हैव टू स्विच ऑन दोज ड्रग्स विच आर सेफ इन प्रेगनेंसी।